Yo people, I'm doing this video to give you guys my full review of One Piece Kaizoku Musou, and I have to say, this was the best anime game I've ever played. It was one of the best fighting games I've played in a long, long time. And there was a lot of, I was really worried when this game first came out, like, will they stay true to the story? Will they make it as good as it can be? And like, and also the fact that it was only Japanese and there was no English subtitles, would that make a difference? And I gotta say, it didn't make a difference at all. I bought the game off eBay for about $100. It got shipped in like less than like a week. I got it right away, and as soon as I started playing, I couldn't put it down. It was so great. It starts off with, the story. You got to start with the main story mode with Luffy, and you start off. Actually, the first it goes like episodes, and I think there's like a total of 17 episodes, and it's a really long game. You can tell there was a lot of work put into this game, and so like you start off, the first episode you play is actually after the 2 year time skip. You get to, it's the scene in Sabaody when Luffy fights the pacifistas like after the 2 years, and that's basically your tutorial on how to fight throughout the game. And you can tell from the tutorial how great this game is going to be because the fighting is awesome. Like, one of my big concerns about this game was, how will Luffy's powers transfer? Like, how are they gonna make it look stupid and friggin' gay? No, but they made it look awesome. Everything came out. My favorite move is like the the Gamu Gamu no bazooka. It's great. You also have like special moves throughout the game. Like, I think in the beginning of the game, until you learn, up until like the CP9 arc, your special move when you press the circle button on PS3, that your most powerful move when you fill up the bar is like the rifle. Once you in CP9 you learn another move, then you get gear second, gear third. Then you can do like near the end of the game you can do the elephant rifle at the end of the game. I mean, you all of his powers are there. Every single power is there. Nothing is left out, and it's great. And the story mode is, there's so much work they put into it. I mean, from start to finish, it was great. You start off with the tutorial, then you go to Buggy, then Don Krieg, Arlong, all the way up to the war until the end of the war, and then it's great. All the characters that you get to play with are awesome. Like, you keep fighting, and it's like, the great thing about this game is, not only is it fighting, but it's also like an actual story. Like, you can, like with Luffy, you're running around trying to get to places. Like, it's like puzzle solving. It's like using his devil fruit powers to get around places. Like, you're swinging all over the place. You're using the balloon. I mean, just to get all over the place, which is great. I mean, like, it really feels like a One Piece game. It doesn't just feel like a fighting game with One Piece characters. It actually feels like a One Piece fighting game, which is awesome. And also, like, as you go through the story mode, you start unlocking another log mode where it's, you can start doing the whole adventures, except now with other characters, like the other One Piece characters like Zoro and everything. And once you finish the entire game, you have, I think, 14 total characters that you can do other story modes with. And it's not just like, you have all the Straw Hats. You can fight with Ace. You can fight with Jinbei. You can fight with Whitebeard. You can fight with Boa Hancock, and that's also a lot of fun to go through. And you get power ups. You get new clothes. Like Zoro and Luffy have their 2 year time skip outfits, which looks really kick ass. And then once you finally finish the game, there's a challenge mode, which I still haven't been able to beat. I keep getting murdered. Like, it's when you just keep continuously fighting, and it's really hard, but it keeps it challenging. That's a great thing about this game. It keeps things challenging. And like throughout the game, there was points where, yeah, the fact that it was Japanese kind of got me confused, but you can just go on YouTube and you'll figure out how to do it. And like, it's challenging. The fact that it's only in Japanese doesn't really hurt you that much. You can figure it out, and it's so much fun. You become so addicted to the game. Like, I swear to God, I never wanted to put it down. I wish I didn't even have to go to school. I just stay home and play it all day. And I mean, it was awesome. Like, if I had to compare it to like other big games that came out, like, I got One Piece first. Then I said, all right, let me go get Naruto Storm Generations, and I played that, and it couldn't even compare. I returned Naruto Storm Generations the next day because, I mean, yeah, I know it's a fighting game, but I still want a story mode. And Storm Generations was just like, oh, some dude's gonna talk, and we're gonna just give you like fights that you can just like fight, and that's great. I mean, that's not fun for me at all. I mean, I actually liked the Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 2 better because at least it had a story mode where you can run around. I mean, you can tell which game put more effort in. One Piece put way more effort, and this should be game of the year. It was so great. The powers were great. I mean, everything about that game was fun. The only like complaint I kind of have about it is there's no one-on-one fighting mode, which means like there's no game mode where you can go like Luffy versus Zoro. No, you can just play stories and whatever. But even with that, it's still a lot of fun. And I mean, like, this is only there's going to be so much greater One Piece games coming up. This is the fact that this is the tip of the iceberg is amazing because like we haven't even gotten into the new world yet. Imagine the One Piece games that comes out when we're in the new world. It's going to be amazing. We're going to have fucking One Piece fans, man. Rejoice. One Piece games are going to be great. Kaizoku Muso, if you're a real One Piece fan, you got to buy it right now. It's the best game I've played in a really long time, and I felt it was completely blow the Storm Generations out of the water. I mean, I honestly played Storm Generations for about 3 hours. Then I just returned the game and got a new one because I did not like it. I mean, just fighting is no fun. You need a story, and One Piece did a great job of converging all the Devil Fruit powers and putting it in the game in a way that didn't look stupid and look cool. Like all the admirals, Devil Fruit powers. Like I was really worried, how are they going to convert the Logia types into the game? And with Kizaru, Akainu, and Aokiji, their powers were awesome in the game. You know, like, and they're so freaking hard to beat too. So I mean that's always fun. Too the only I wish there was a Logia type. Oh, there is. You can fight with Logia type like Ace, and it's fun to fight with Logias because they're so powerful. And like the other thing I like about the game is it sticks with the story of One Piece. I mean, because there's this part where for One Piece fans, you know this part where you with Usopp you're fighting Luffy in when you're in Water 7, and I would have been so pissed off if it was like any other fighting game where I could just overpower Luffy with Usopp. That would make no sense. If you're a One Piece fan, you'd be like, that shit's ridiculous. That doesn't make sense. Luffy can't be beaten by Usopp. The only way you end up beating Luffy as Usopp, it took me like 3 tries to do this, is you got to do things that Usopp would do. So basically, if you want to beat Luffy with Usopp, you have to like run around in circles and just use tricks like Usopp tricks to beat Luffy, which I found great. I thought that was great that it actually used the fighting styles of the characters and they brought it so realistically into the game, and they didn't leave anything out, and they put a lot of work into it, and I was so happy with it. It was a 10 out of, or maybe a 9.5 out of 10. If that point 5, the only thing I take off from this game is they didn't have the 2-on-2 fighting modes, and also they kind of skipped a couple arcs like Thriller Bark. They didn't have that in there, and they didn't have Skypiea in there. So if they had those two things in there and a 2-on-2 fighting mode, this game would have been a 20 out of 10. I'll give it like a 9.5. It's still definitely worth your time. I mean, real One Piece fans, don't wait for like an English version of the game. You never know if that's even coming. This game is there for you now. Just being Japanese is not going to hamper you. You're going to have so much fun playing it. Get it. It's so worth it. You'll be so happy you did. Alright guys, that was my full review of One Piece Kaizoku Muso, and I hope you guys go out and get it because it was really worth it. Alright, peace.